Hello and welcome to your practice. It is week 7 and we're changing things up a bit. This week we're going to practice restorative yoga, which is a real treat. And if you've been working on your balancing pose tree, then great job. Keep up the good work. We will come back to that. If not, there's still time because we're taking a little break from a more movement practice to a more relaxing practice, which is restorative yoga. So this is going to be a shorter restorative practice than I normally do, and I'm going to use voiceover because of the nature of the practice to guide you through the poses. And restorative yoga has a lot of benefits. It's good for de-stressing, revitalizing, just taking a break. It's a meditative practice. So it can be good for your heart, your lungs, basically your entire system, just to take this break and give your nervous system some time to relax. However, it does require many props, and the props are completely necessary because I want you to be as cozy as possible. So I have 6 yoga blankets, a bolster, and 2 blocks for this practice. And you may not have those exact things, but do the best you can with couch cushions and blankets that you have around your house. So go gather your props and we'll get started. One more thing, if you are hoping for more movement for this week's practice, then feel free to go back and do one of the other week's practices, or just check out my channel and see if there's anything there that calls to you. All right, enjoy. Our first pose will be Salamba Balasana, supported child's pose. Take your bolster and place it over a block, and then use blankets on either side of your bolster that will support your arms. It doesn't matter what sort of blanket you use as long as it's even on each side, or as even as you can get it. And then you might place a block under your hips for support and a blanket or 2 on top of the bolster for some extra support. So take a moment to get your props just the way you'd like them. And then fold over your bolster, placing your forehead or cheek on the blanket or bolster, allowing your hips to relax, settling in, quiet the mind. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, letting everything go, settling in to deep relaxation. We'll hold this for about 4 minutes and I'll guide you out of the pose. If your cheek is on the bolster, go ahead and switch to the opposite cheek. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Slowly coming out of the pose, gently sitting up. Taking your time, maybe coming to a seat. The next pose is Salamba Urdhva Dhanurasana. Salamba Urdhva Dhanurasana, supported back bend. So bringing your bolster to the other end of your mat in a block up at the top above the bolster. And bring some blankets along the side of you to support your arms. You can add a blanket or two to the top of your bolster, depending on how much you want to have of a back bend. And then lay so that your upper ribs are across the bolster. And the block is going to support your head. You might need to adjust the block. Let your arms and legs relaxed, like Shavasana. And if you find that it's uncomfortable, that it's too much, then you can just use a blanket or two underneath your ribs. Or you can remove the blanket from the back of the bolster to lower yourself down a bit. Take all the time you need to find a position that works for you. And if none of that works, you can just lay in Shavasana. The benefits of Salamba Urdhva Dhanurasana are that it opens the front of the body, including your front lungs, the heart, and all your organs. It relieves the back after constant sitting and hunching over phones and computers. It provides a calming effect by slowing brain waves. It can improve your standing posture and your lower back function. So as you settle in, take another deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. letting everything go, knowing you're right where you're supposed to be. There's no demands on you now, no place you need to be. Slowly coming out of the pose, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. You might begin to move a little, stretching your arms overhead, taking anything that feels good in the moment before gently bringing yourself back up to a seat. From here, we'll prepare to do a spinal twist, so supported spinal twist. For this, you'll need some blankets, a block, so folding the blanket at the top of your mat to support your head and neck, a blanket placed over a block on either side of you that'll support your legs. And the other props can be moved to the side. So lay down on your spine with the support of your blanket. You can roll the blanket underneath your neck for that support. Rolling on to one side or the other and placing your top knee on top of the blanket over the bolster. And then your opposite arm will use the other block and blanket for support. So you can have both knees bent in this position, or you can straighten the bottom leg with the other one over. Another option is to place the block between both knees and have both knees bent. If there's any strain on your shoulder, then feel free to just rest your arm along your body. Again, as you settle here, take a scan of your body. Notice if you're holding on to tension in anywhere, and see if you can breathe in and let it all go. Make any adjustments you need to. Your only job is to get as comfortable as possible. Some of the benefits of this twist is that it's a general tonic for the low back. It combines the benefits of a twist, which stretches the small muscles of the spine, and an inversion, which places the lower back in traction, and a back bend, which helps release tension in the intervertebral disc. It opens the lungs and the diaphragm, which improves respiratory function and enhances general well-being. We're going to move to the other side, so gently coming out of the twist, rolling onto your back, and then setting up, rolling over to one side, placing the opposite knee over, or both knees, finding your setup, whether it's having both knees bent or keeping the bottom leg straightened, and then allowing the opposite arm to fall out to the side, using the support of the blanket and block. Take a breath in and settle in for a nice deep spinal twist. Take another deep breath in and exhale it out. Beginning to release the twist, rolling onto your spine, bending both knees with your feet planted on the earth, and rotating the hips side to side, neutralizing the spine. And when you're ready, gently pressing yourself up as we prepare for our final pose. Supported Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, which is supported butterfly pose. You'll use all the props for this. Place your blocks. One block on its medium setting with the other one on its highest setting leaning on top of it. The bolster will go on top of that. Just give it a push to make sure it's secure. You can use the wall if you have one. Place the blanket at the top of your bolster to use as a pillow. And unfold a blanket for support on your hips. Fold one end of a blanket so it's a little bit thicker than the other. And you'll have those going on either side for your arms, your elbow support. You want to set it up in such a way that your wrist will be above your elbows. So fold on like the video so that the thicker end is closer to your wrist. And then you'll need 2 blankets on either side of your legs. So Baddha Konasana is butterfly. It's bringing the soles of your feet together. And it's very much recommended that you have support for your knees here because we are holding it for about 6 minutes. So once you find the correct pillow situation, go ahead and relax down. Adjust anything you need to for your head and neck. Place your arms down. Adjust your blankets as you need to so that your wrists are a little higher than your elbows. Bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall out, and bring the blankets in to support either knee. Make any adjustments you need to make sure you're as comfortable as you can possibly be. If Baddha Konasana is not comfortable for you, feel free to just extend your legs out long. Again, scanning the body, noticing anywhere you could be a little more comfortable, and taking the time. Maybe it's getting some socks or a sweater or a blanket to put on top of you. Take anything you need here so that you're warm and cozy. And when you found that perfect comfort, settle in, take a breath. Exhale, let everything go. a deep breath in and let it out. Extend your legs long, starting to come out of the pose. Move your ankles a little, gently press yourself up. Thank you for your presence and thank you for your practice.